Welcome back to the ECS Season 8 Finals, where we are just about to get into our final best of 3 of the day. And it's going to be a good one, guys, isn't it? It's a Scandinavian derby. We've got Fnatic going up against Astralis. Gentlemen, I can see you're very excited. You're getting out the Swedish kind of props that we've got. Are we siding with somebody?
Liquid Horse. This is the Liquid Horse.
Okay.
And this is a sign that Fnatic is going to win. So, like, this is the finals of the event.
Oh.
You predicted it without even knowing it.
I like this prediction.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I don't have to do anything more. Now I just keep quiet and show this off. I'm like,
yeah, you can pop off now, Chris.
Here
You just brought these toys to say
so
everything.
I'm done, right?
No. Well, yeah, we're incredibly excited to be getting into this final matchup of the day. And it's going to be a big one, isn't it? Because it's Fnatic going up against world #1's Astralis. But Fnatic are currently in 3rd place in the HLTV rankings, which is pretty exciting to see these two going head-to-head.
Yeah, especially, I mean, #1, #3 go against each other. And you know, ending the beautiful first day of ECS finals with, you know, those two teams, it's just beautiful, especially for me since I'm a Swede and from Scandinavia. So I can enjoy, in a way, the best CS.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy and excited for it. And I don't know, I'm very unsure about the maps though. That's my mysterious problem right now. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to have as maps, but I don't know, I have no idea what to pick and what they will actually pick.
Yeah, I have no idea where the maps are going to go, but what excites me about this best of 3 is the stylistic differences, right? Astralis being that utility-heavy team, and Fnatic is, you know, that team that's going to take individual fights. They're going to try to get into 4-on-4s, 3-on-3s, and that's where they shine. I think Golden makes incredible reads. Whenever I watch him play Inferno, I'm always impressed by his ability to choose the right site to hit. If a site is stacked, he seems to always call to go to the other site. So that is, you know, the differences between these teams are night and day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're going to bring up our head-to-head, where we're going to be featuring Golden and, of course, the in-game leader from Astralis, Glaive, which is a very nice comparison, I think. Obviously, Golden in his lovely Hello Kitty X-Fnatic jersey. I'm really, really enjoying those. But yeah, obviously comparing our two in-game leaders from each side. As you can see, Fnatic have actually been playing more games in the past few months than Astralis.
That's true. But one pretty cool thing that happened not too long ago when the Astralis were winning in IEM Beijing was that Glaive was actually MVP of the tournament. And usually people are not predicting the in-game leaders to be becoming MVPs anymore or that often. But it was very impressive, and I was very on those games I was looking at, I was very impressed how he played the tournament, throughout the whole tournament. And I mean, I don't think anyone would really guess it would be him, because they always go for Device, maybe Dupree or Magus now, since he's been playing so well the whole year. So I was very happy to see that. And I mean, especially when I heard that he has been a little bit annoyed with himself recently. So seeing them, him specifically, getting the MVP there and performing super well, I was really happy for him.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that Glaive finally got that MVP, right? You typically think of Glaive and you don't think of monster numbers as far as frags, but he's always putting in chip damage, getting spam damage through smoke, if not frags, and then nade damage every single round. So to see him actually follow through with frags, so much so that he gets an MVP of a Tier 1 event, that's really cool.
Well, we've been saying we're very unsure the way the map feature is going to be going, and we're going to be delving into it right now. I know you've been saying there's a little bit of uncertainty surrounding this. What are you expecting? What do you think is going to be the
vetoes?
path?
The vetoes are the one thing you can expect.
I mean, I wrote down Nuke, Inferno does 2. Maybe a training there. That's what I threw in, but...
Oh, they left Vertigo in. Astralis might pick Vertigo here.
Oh.
Ooh.
I cannot believe Fnatic didn't veto Vertigo.
No,
okay,
so it's
did not
Nuke.
pick.
Okay, so Nuke.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
This is very different to what we were anticipating.
I did not think Fnatic would float Vertigo like this, and if they did, I thought Astralis would certainly pick it.
I mean, now Fnatic must be banning Vertigo.
I would imagine so.
Wait.
Oh my goodness. They must be very, very confident in this new Vertigo.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Fnatic play Vertigo.
I don't know if they have actually one official game on it.
I think Astralis might think this is a bait and that Fnatic is really good. But, I mean, Astralis doesn't even have footage on this new Vertigo, so are they willing to go into the unknown?
They are. They are indeed. Wow. Okay. This went completely the opposite way to what we were anticipating. I'm interested in that Nuke pick as well, because last time, obviously at DreamHack Malmo, that's where Fnatic beat them on Nuke. It was an incredibly close overtime win, but still, that's a some bold picks coming out of that side, very unexpected.
Yeah, especially because I heard that like Astralis and Sonic were complaining the other day because they made like a updated one to Vertigo. So I heard them like because of the operation they made like a lot of changes again.
Yeah.
And I saw that apparently he tweeted out, you know, it's kind of annoying, you know, doing new strats and all that kind of stuff on the map when they just updated one. So he was a little bit not angry but a little bit frustrated, I guess, on Twitter. So it's kind of like I know that they're at least up to date. They always want to play that one, or like at least being practice ready for it at least.
Yeah, as pro teams, you always want to be ahead of the meta, right? You always want to practice the new map and try to find the edges and vetoes. So when a map like Vertigo gets added to the pool, you want to practice, practice, practice. But then when the devs change it, you're screwed. You're behind again, and you no longer even have that map in the map pool because it's a totally new map. And that's what Zonic is probably a little bit frustrated about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm really excited to be getting into this, but obviously Vertigo is the third map. Are we thinking it's going to go all that way?
Well, like last time Fnatic and Astralis played like in Masters, they went to like 4 overtimes and Fnatic squeezed out the Nuke win and won 2-0 in maps, like in the semifinals. But I'm not really sure. Like Fnatic is a team that like I know they're trying to play it more and more, but I'm not really like, you know, really cement and being like, okay, they're gonna win this map, like no matter who they're playing against. But I like that at least they're doing it and like forcing it in, or like not force it, but maybe training to become much better with it. So I'm happy, and I was like, I was 99% sure they would pick it. At least it's gonna happen in this matchup, but I wasn't sure it's gonna happen directly. That was my like,
I think the vetoes are interesting because if you told me these were the maps in like 2018, obviously not Vertigo's a third map, I would say there's 0 chance Astralis loses on Nuke and Inferno. But in today's day and age, they look vulnerable on these maps. So who knows where this could go?
Who knows, indeed. And if you guys are watching on Twitch at home, make sure you're subscribed to FACEIT TV to get access to our premium pass. You'll be able to watch all 10 of the player POVs, access to exclusive stats, and the clapping feature, of course, to cheer on your favourite player, which more easy claps over here. Which is obviously great supporting your favourite team going forward. But I think it's time now to get into our predictions. We're just going to be doing them per maps now. So coming to this first map, Nuke, what are you guys kind of thinking?
Swedish flag.
Swedish?
Yeah.
Fnatic?
Yep.
All the way?
Nah, I'm going Astralis.
Okay.
I think they're too strong strategically. I think I like how Glaive plays the connector area, the secret area.
Yeah.
I don't think Fnatic's going to be prepared for that.
Well, let's check in with our casters as well and see exactly what they're thinking for their first match-up. Henry, Alex, what are you thinking over there?
Same old Sean, go for the easy pick there, just keeping it safe, you know. Love to see it.
Yeah, and I love the horse, by the way, Chris.
Yeah, what is the horse about? We missed that segment. What was going on there?
It's a Swedish horse.
Swedish horse?
Yeah, Dalahest.
Dalahest.
Yeah, I think it's made of licorice, and they dance around it in the snow.
Amazing.
Wait, what? No. I need to maybe keep it here so you don't see it anymore if you're going to say like that. You know, we have to take care of our little babies.
Yeah,
know,
okay,
but,
respect.
Well, I take care of this little baby here, and we're about to give you... Oh, that's quite cute, actually.
Thank you. I don't know where the hand was going.
We're going to give you some thoughts on this game coming up as it kick things off on Nuke, I believe. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
going to be an
what's so
interesting
crazy.
one. Astralis looking like in red hot form right now. They had a difficult, turbulent few months, but after Beijing, they looked fantastic.
What
right?
Chris said as well, though, he's right. Fnatic have been playing a lot more of Nuke. Like, it seems to be, it was their primary pick at the Pro League I was at, like 2 weeks ago. So there's clearly a love for it. The fact they're picking against Astralis only reaffirms that. I'm going Sweden. Let's go, Chris.
You're going Sweden.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stay Denmark. The fact we got Nuke and Inferno coming up, that's the home turf of these boys. We're going 2-0 again. Lock it in right now. I'm never wrong, so we'll leave you with that.
Well, we've got some very split predictions over here. I'm going to carry that on, and I'm going to go with Astralis as well, I think. I just think they're looking... It does. See, that's the main reason I do that, Alex.
Yeah,
Trust me. We're going to be checking in back with you very, very shortly when we get into our matchup. But I think it's time to have a look at our fan predictions from Pinnacle as well. I mean, both of these guys, huge fan bases, big history behind them. I think it's going to be sliding a little bit more with Astralis for this first matchup, just because of the history of Nuke. But, of course, you kind of alluded to it, Sean. This time last year, you'd have no qualms about picking Astralis for this Nuke, right?
I still think the fans are going to side with Astralis. I think Pinnacle is going to be favored towards Astralis when we see these odds come up on the screen. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, exactly. Incredibly close. Very close.
That's actually closer than I thought.
Yeah. And of course, we'll be checking in with our Pinnacle odds for the markets as well to see what you guys have been betting on at home. Let's take a look at those bad boys. I'm thinking it's going to be Astralis as well. Because this is obviously based on the maps as well. This isn't based for the whole series. So yeah, I think it's going to be siding with Astralis. But I'm interested to see if it does go all the way to a third, because I would love to see Astralis on this new Vertigo. I would absolutely love to see it.
I don't know. How do you feel about Astralis like on these quirky maps like Vertigo? Obviously, they did it with Nuke when you were playing with NIP. I mean, you experienced their Vertigo. Is it when you played them?
Played them on Vertigo.
On the old Vertigo, you never played. Because NIP didn't play it.
No, I think they did it after I quit the team.
Yeah.
So I have no experience like official game of Vertigo.
Yeah, I wonder what it feels like playing them on a new map. Like you're probably experiencing like a lot of new utility. And that's where I would fear for Fnatic if it gets to that third map.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to get to a third map, gentlemen? Well, obviously you do, because Swedish. Oh, do you think it's going to be a 2-0 for Fnatic?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to tune into the next segment to find out Chris's opinions. What about you, Sean? Do you think we're going to be going all the way to a third?
I might save that opinion, but I don't know. I'm not siding with Chris. I'll say that.
Well, either of these teams that make it through, they're going to be heading to our semi-finals on Saturday, which I think super exciting. We're going to be getting a guaranteed 2 of the top 4 teams. Looking into tomorrow's matchups, I know we've seen a few of the games coming out. Is there any teams that you're particularly looking forward to seeing tomorrow?
I think I want to see if NIP can bounce back after
Yeah.
what we saw at Liquid was, that was the best Liquid we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think the NIP we saw today was as bad as what that scoreline showed.
No. I know they have more to give as well. So I'm expecting a lot better results tomorrow, and I'm almost going away. I think they're gonna clinch one of the playoff spots there. That's what I was saying.
To the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean they've taken a longer route to get there. But
Yeah, why not? This makes the story even more beautiful, right?
Exactly. Well, I think I'm particularly excited to see. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Sharks, man, like it was very exciting seeing them almost taking down Astralis. I think they're going to be.
They should have won that game.
They should have.
Yeah.
They should have. There was so many close moments. But yeah, I think it's really hard to call who's going to be our top 4 for this event and who's going to be lifting the trophy as well. Because obviously this time last year it was Astralis. They won 2 ECSs in a row at that point, and we were hyping them up for a third back in season 7. So I'm wondering whether they're going to be lifting that trophy up there.
Feels like they didn't lose for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Chris at the start of Go.
Well, we're going to see if they're going to carry on that winning streak as we head over to our casters for our last game of the day.
Thank you very much, Freya. Yes, Machine here, joined by Henry G, and we have got. I mean, I said it before. Liquid EG. We have got a star-studded game ahead of us.
Yeah.
No different here for Astralis Fnatic. I've got high expectations.
I just don't like the map all that much. I know Fnatic have been grinding this map, but it feels like this is Astralis' home turf. You're going in, and the fact is the way to kick things off as well. Sure, Astralis didn't look their best day against Sharks. It's a very close game, went to overtime, but they're still a clinical team. They're so difficult to topple. Fnatic, they need to turn up in buckets of space today to stand a chance.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the fact that this is a map that they've clearly been refining, Golden been making, obviously clear developments for this team, and it does look good. From the recent Fnatic nukes I've seen, especially on their T side, you apply the Fnatic, let me think of it, the best Berserker Counter-Strike that they're capable of. This map is some of those the quick plays they've been making, taking early ramp room on the T side. They were not afraid of doing topside takes against the Molotovs and all of the pre-fires. They were still doing it and getting away with it. So there is something to be looking forward to, definitely, in this affair.
Well, they need to be aware of Glaive's presence on this map. He is an absolute master on the T side, especially. He'll be outside, he'll be down the vents, he'll be causing chaos wherever he goes. That's one thing you need to keep on top of.
Yeah, and outside as well. Speaking of Glaive, immediately my mind goes to playing around the outside smoke. If you're going silo early, you better watch out for Glaive. Don't poke your head out too high, because there will be some outside aggressions from their CT side on Nuke. And there's been a lot more of that, actually, as this meta in Nuke, given Vertigo's introduction into the injection into the map pool, we've been seeing a lot more on Nuke, and it doesn't seem as stale as it used to.
It certainly doesn't. Before, we were just running the same outside smokes time and time again, but it seems like the lower bomb site has a lot more structure to it now. It feels like that's a main objective, to get that bomb planted, especially down the vents towards ramp room. It seems there's a few more options on the T side now. The smokes will go down regardless. They'll be put down every single round to take vision away from the CTs, but whether they'll be used is another question altogether.
When you say smokes, are you referring to like kind of main as well as the vent dive smoke? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the outside smokes in general, because you're trying to take vision away from the CT, so they have to rotate someone down lower, right? You'll see those pretty much every round, but Astralis are so good at kind of sowing the seeds of doubt. It's Glaive down there, our 4 people down there. You have to react, and Nuke's very difficult to reclaim territory on. It's all about getting down towards lower. That's where Astralis will be focusing most of their efforts, where they put most of their bomb plants down. If the bomb is planted, 85% of the time they'll be winning that round. So you need to be very careful, have players rotating down towards lower and making sure you have crossfires and you're reading the plays well, but it's such a difficult map to play against them. Have they done the knife run yet, Alex?
That is a very good question. I think they're still running around in spawn, so that suggests to me we get knife, which is going to be a very important one.
It's a very big one, yeah. considering this is the pick of Astralis, the fact they could even start on the CT side would be great, but their T side's been phenomenal recently. They've been posting double digits sometimes on their T side. It's looking absolutely undaunted. We'll see whether they can keep that up as we start to sit down.
Yes, they take to their seats, which does mean we are moments away from finding out how Astralis Fnatic starts off. Of course, at the 9th round, I imagine we'll be seeing first of all. Crims on your screens. We didn't get to see him over in his most recent battle with Fnatic, of course, due to illness, and they actually chose to drop an additional event up until this one here in Arlington, so they could come in prepared, and of course, with Crims back at full health, which is absolutely a priority to end the year. There is a flurry of events coming, and that you want to make sure your consistent star is at full health.
He is one of the pinnacle members of the Fnatic lineup,
Yes,
but
no
speaking of which, the favorite player from Fnatic right now for me is Brolan. I feel like they've put so much weight on his shoulders in terms of like responsibility, but he's thriving in that environment. He is becoming a star player at such a young age as well, one of the most talented players in all of Sweden, but he is a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes he'll have this mammoth performances, sometimes he'll be quite quiet and shut down. If he gets a Krieg in his hand, he gets rolling, he can be the shining star that keeps him in these games, and he's going to have to come online fully to stand a chance against Astralis.
Yeah, and I mean, what's so great as well is that, you know, if any Kriegs are saved and brought over early for the CT side, there is only one candidate. There really is only one candidate. Same could be said for the T side, to be honest, given the fact that a lot of Fnatics do still have their preference leaning in the direction of the AK, and I think the patch recently adding the price tag to the Krieg, that's only going to enhance things.
Yeah, I believe he plays Ramprum on CT side as well, so if you get the Krieg on the CT side and Ramprum, that's amazing. It means you can actually challenge for jewels at the start, you can go for the one-tap headshots and have the benefit of the scope as well. It's such a valuable weapon to get towards the back of that area. But 9th round looking to go underway momentarily. In terms of predictions, you've already said, Astralis going to take this.
Well, we're doing it on a map-by-map basis.
Map-by-map basis.
I called Fnatic's Nuke.
I just went 2-0 straight up. I just said, you know what? This Inferno, this Nuke, it's going to be Astralis. They've got this.
And understandably so, because it does seem like Astralis are having that classic Astralis play of, you kind of forget about them because they don't touch to a tournament, maybe a couple of slow performances, then they just win the major again, another star on the jersey, and it does seem like it's been nothing but an incline since then. The Danes looking to reclaim and maintain that #1 title and tag coming into the next year.
Yeah, Glaive as well. The fact he got MVP at the last big tournament, right? The fact in Beijing, that was his first MVP of his entire career. He came into that tournament saying, I have never really felt this weak. I haven't really felt like I've dropped off this much in a while. I'm not the same player I was in 2018. He pulls out those stops in Beijing and actually looks like a monster. He looks like a god once again. He's such an intelligent player, such a good in-game leader as well. The mid-round calls is what makes Astralis such a good team. Like, even if they find themselves in a precarious situation, he knows what he has to do to get them out of it. They're so good at working together, slowing things right down. 2-on-4s, like, no problem. You've got players like Zipex there to close things out, who seems to be in the clutch every single time they need it. He's able to finish things off, and he did that today as well against Sharks. Looked like they were about to drop out, but of course, it's a Zipex clutch to win things for them, and they managed to stay alive.
Yeah, of course it is. Bloody Zipex. Clutch Minister in action. And of course, on your screens now, Flusher. Recently, I say recently with bated breath, admittedly time is passing rather fast, but his first offline performance was over in DreamHack Masters Malmo. That was about 2 months ago. And of course, they lifted the trophy there as well. So it was quite a return for Flusher, which he genuinely took off. Not talking about grinding, you know, behind the scenes. He's straight up just walked away from the mouse and keyboard for, what was it, like over nearly 3 months.
Yeah, that was a bit of a fairy tale, the whole thing, wasn't it? The fact that how that all transpired just didn't make any sense, but that's what makes Counter-Strike such a beautiful game sometimes. You can never really predict what's going to happen. Sure, you can say the front runner's always got a decent chance of winning it, but on home soil, Flusher coming back for the first time, it was a beautiful thing.
And then JW has shed more light on that. You know, he's not talking too much about the fact that, you know, they immediately had form. He says, yes, and not, you know, people weren't expecting us to win Malmo, and neither were we. But when the stars align for this roster, it is reminiscent of the Fnatic of old to an extent. You know, there is this feeling of a plow almost, to cite another previously dominant organization.
Where are they now?
Where is VP at, man?
They're still playing. They still have a team.
They do have a team. I think it's in the tier 3, tier 2 regions. I'm wondering where we're missing. I think we're missing one player. I can see a little screen of the game, and I'm telling you now that that's the update I have. I think it's perhaps a tech issue. We'll let you know when we know.
A small sound issue.
A sound issue.
That's all I can tell you.
But those are usually the pesky ones.
Yeah, something not quite right with the comms or the headset in general. As device in your screen right now, looks like his sound is A-OK. Astralis do have 5 players on ready to go for this knife. This is a best of 3. The final game will bring you today. Astralis, they had a bit of a bumpy start in the tournament. Sure, they won the game, which is all that matters, but it did go overtime against a team that's turning a lot of heads right now, and it's the Brazilian-Argentinian mix of Sharks. Who would have thought that would be the team to really test them kicking things off?
Yeah, but these 2 new additions to their roster does seem to have created created quite a potent mix, and I think Freya, you know, she's right to have them as her dark horse in their discussions on the desk prior.
Yeah, well, Astralis are one of those teams, you know, they say it themselves. They definitely have slow starts into most tournaments. As long as they get the win, though, that's all that really matters. Like, at this stage of the tournament, it doesn't matter how close the game is, you know, that doesn't contribute to anything. It's just about getting the win, getting to the best of 3. If they win this, then they'll be the same position Liquid found themselves in as well, which is like the day off. Manage to stretch your feet out, go ride some roller coasters.
Go for a walk, I guess.
Go for a walk.
Down the highway.
Down the highway, classic walk.
Classic.
We'll be doing that tomorrow if you want to come join us.
Yep, we'll do a highway walk.
And there's JW, the sniper of Fnatic, looking to get ready here. Not really many options for him on Nuke. The AWPers will struggle somewhat to have massive amounts of impact. You normally see them at the start of each round. Some teams do opt for a double AWP setup. You might even see Astralis bring that out from time to time in his best of 3.
Where are you throwing them?
Well, normally you have the outside AWP and you have one towards ramp. Meaning he can actually go down towards lower, down towards secret if required. For me, I don't like it especially, but if a team's really feeling it and they're running away with the game, it's not a bad setup at all, especially if you feel like they haven't got much tactical depth, not reading what you're doing. But as soon as you know the opposition has a double AWP setup, in my opinion, it's pretty easy to shut down. You're just going for upper executions, upper rushes, and just making sure you get the bomb down quickly.
Gosh, yeah.
Exactly. Retaking, especially down towards lower, is such a nightmare. So you're really just focusing towards lower bomb site at that point. What do you think about the new Hello Kitty situation? I got sent one of those. I haven't taken a picture in it yet. It's not the most flattering for me.
Does it not work for you?
I mean, it looks cool, but it's just I feel like I can't put it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's brilliant that we're seeing such huge brands stepping in these like big in-your-face sponsorships. It's just, you know, a sign of the times.
It's one hell of a collab, yeah.
Yeah, it's one hell of a collab, and congratulations to Fnatic for pulling it off and pulling it off to the extent they have.
Crimson
Personally, not my cup of tea. I do like Crim's is pulling off pink more than JW's pulling off orange.
Yeah.
But that's more of a question of, you know, the design as well. There's a lot of kitties on JW. I think he said, give me the one with the most kitties.
As many cats as you could possibly find on me.
He's a kitty magnet.
He must be. He certainly is, Alex. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be underway momentarily. I can see that we've got 9 players on server right now. One more for the golden
Feline
number.
good, man. Feline good.
Feline very good.
But you know, it does at this point start to suggest that the tech issue is going to be one of those unpredictable beasts, I'm afraid. So podcast mode might have to be activated. It's a mode that myself and Henry are all too familiar with.
Oh, we've been here many times before.
Yes.
On big stages, isolated.
Can't hear each other sometimes. Curveballs up left and right.
There's been some horror show moments for us in that respect, but this one feels very comfortable indeed. I don't think we'll have a problem filling the dead air at this point. So Alex, I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. What have you been up to? What have you been doing yourself?
I've been having a good time, actually. I had a week off, no work. I went over to Berlin to have a dance,
Lovely
have a
part of the
boogie.
world.
Yeah, I really like that city, actually.
Did you get inspired from the major? You thought I would have come back here?
I did. I went to. I spent like, what was it? We had 2 weeks there for the minor and then 3 for the major, essentially. So I was there for over a month and ended up kind of falling in love with the city a little bit.
And a lot of other things, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was my Berlin. How was your... you went to... Was it first time in Florida last week?
Well, I went to Florida for Disneyland when I was like 12 years old. So I don't really think that counts. You know, I don't really think you say, yeah, I've been to Florida. You can't really remember it when you're 31.
No.
But this is the first time I went when I was a man, you know?
Yes.
I felt like I could really experience it. Went to Orlando, went to Tampa. And let me tell you, those guys, they know how to party down there. They know what they're doing. Stunner hosted my trip there, and he really showed me the ropes as what it's all about. Really,
Brilliant.
it is just about partying, it seems. No one else is doing anything but that. But I had a great time. You're in the sun. No one really cares what you're doing. And I would definitely go back. I'd recommend that any time of the year. It was like 30 degrees every day there at this time of year.
Is it not? I heard Florida's quite like a humid nightmare, though, isn't it? Like
it is in the summer.
Okay.
This time of year, it was fine. I didn't feel particularly sweaty at all, to be honest with you, which is a rare thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was great.
That does sound like a kind of the dream environment. Maybe winter holidays to Florida. We'll go party there.
Well, that's where Stunner lives. So I'm sure he'll take us on board whenever we need it. We are just still waiting for that small technical issue here. It is one player from Fnatic who's just joined.
Oh.
So that could be a twist in the tail. We'll see if we can go live momentarily. We still have the knife round to go down, I believe. In these best of threes, we are knifing.
Yeah.
And these days, I would say, you're obviously going to go CT, but the stats suggest this map's actually equaling out. And there's some instances in some particular matchups you'd actually maybe not prefer to start T side, but actually finding more success.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. I've even seen, you know, not only because of the Krieg, but it just seems like teams are starting to have more available for them on their T side. The executes, there's a lot of nades that you can throw through those skylights that people have even found more and added to and refined. And it's time for us to jump in. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your patience. ECS Season 8 Finals live from Arlington, day 1, and our final best of 3. It's time for Astralis, the Danes who have done it all, going up against a very solid new look not only in jersey, but in form, Fnatic. Time to stab each other. This is, I mean, yeah, the way you highlighted it is normally this would be the most important knife round of the series, and it is going all but one way. Poor Glaive is about to try and... actually, you know what? With 5... No, I can't
go
count.
on.
Maybe here I go. 4 1-clicks, 4 right-click. Oh, never mind. He got stabbed on the map.
Yeah. He's still fine with 2 stabs.
Yeah,
but
I kind of feel like it's... Oh, he's not
done.
ready for behind it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay, here we go. I'm feeling it. 2, uno, dos, tre. Oh, okay.
That was the most excitement we've had all day, maybe.
There it is.
Wow.
Get that one in slow-mo replay.
There was a chance there. So we're going to have the team huddles, of course, now. Astralis, this one to discuss with their coach, Zonic, who just released a book, actually. I think that's going to be the first CSGO book released, at least.
Yeah.
I think Heaton released one.
There might
about
be
his
one
life.
there.
But this
Actually,
is
no,
more...
of course, Red Eye. Red Eye did a book a long time ago as well.
Yes, that was more about... guide to commentary.
Oh, there's
I
more
believe,
commentary,
right?
esports commentary.
Yeah,
okay.
so this was the first like kind of esports story, like someone who's involved in a top tier team, kind of discussing behind the scenes. But it's only in Danish for now, I believe. But I would like to check that out.
Yeah, no, I read a couple of someone went through the book and had pulled out some highlights for people on Reddit.
I saw some highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, one was interesting about Glaive's car. Found that one quite. I
didn't see that one. What's Glaive's car saying?
Glaive parked his car somewhere, filled in the form wrong, so they towed it. And he just assumed his car was stolen.
He didn't report it, please.
Yeah, he went. We said, "So we found it here in this towing lot."
Oh dear. Okay.
Mastermind, genius in-game leader.
He
but
never said he was the.
Didn't say he could fill in forms necessarily.
Well, I hope he's got his car back now and
Yeah.
everything's back in control. I think he actually posted the other day he bought a new car.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So that's a bit of a full circle there. Going against
He
the
had
original.
someone else park it though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Make sure you can just sit in the car. It can be your car, someone to drive you around. That's when you're balling.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I haven't got a license. Maybe if I become rich and famous, Henry, I'll do that. I'll get a smart car and I'll hire someone to drive me around.
I just get the Uber Black experience, you know.
Ooh, okay,
that's how I roll. You know, I'm spending an extra $20 on a ride,
but
I look great. You know, when I arrive, they know this guy has spent at least $15 extra on the privilege of sitting in a slightly larger car.
And perhaps the seat was slightly warmer. There is maybe he wanted a heated seat.
There might be a bottle of water back there as well. You never know.
That's always a luxury.
That's
I
when you
always
feel
feel too rude to ask.
This guy knows what he's doing. He's getting the 5-star.
Do you ask about the bottle or just grab it?
I grab it.
You strike me as
if
a grabber.
If it's in the back, like, what do you want from me? You're keeping your own personal possessions in the back. This is my domain. That's yours. You're leaving things here. They're going to be consumed.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. Do you believe that your domain, getting into a cab, is always the back seat? You're not a front seat rider. Okay.
I feel like that would make everyone uncomfortable, especially if you're just a solo dude getting in towards the front seat. You have to be a very charismatic person to pull that one off. You have to have conversation ready to go. You have to be in the mood to talk, and most importantly, you have to make sure that they're fine with it as well. There's a lot of moving parts to that whole situation. Just sit in the back.
Now I'm getting all socially anxious about all the previous cabs I've taken.
Is that all you'd ever do? Front seat only?
Oh, and they're like moving their lunchbox. I'm like, oh, sorry,
That's
mate.
what gets in the most. Their thermos, their lunchbox is there. They're like, you know, there's a whole back row there. It's fine.
Yeah, you weirdo. Why am I doing that?
Hi, I'm weird. I'm sitting in the front.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm not going to talk to you. Headphones on, but I'm just here to make things as I go. Oh, you don't mind sliding the seat back, do you? I know it's crunched up because you're accommodating for the expectation of people getting in the proper side of the car. I'm just going to go ahead and slide this right back there. Yeah, I'm just going to move your belongings, and we're in.
We're going to slide into this game. That's for sure. Fnatic CT side, Astralis. On what I think at this point is their best map. I think they're unstoppable in that. I think they look so good in there. Look out for Glaive as he'll be leading the charge here. We said the vents will be a very prevalent part of the map, but he's focusing towards the upper bomb site. And my goodness, has it worked out for them. 2 headshots as quick as you like, but JW, can he pick up the pieces? Apparently not. Flasher will get 1 frag in return, but he's got to reload at this stage, and that means the T's can fall right back due to the veil of the smoke.
Yeah, this has gone so fast. Arai, Golden, does get a nice connection onto Device, but a bullet to remind him of what lies beneath. Warning shots. Does have Flusher in support, but currently waiting for the smoke to clear. Now is his chance. There's a smoke and a kit on Golden. If Flusher could do some nasty work here, they've got a shot, but unfortunately, that's been taken away from them. He's got a frag. All 3 won't happen. And so Astralis, it's just a top take, and it works out wonderfully. Glaive, the spearhead of the assault.
Yeah, a 1 flashbang in from T-Spawn, and then everyone just swing for their fences through Squeaky Door. They came through in 3s and managed to find every single shot required. Glaive leading the charge, as he said. He saw that flashbang come through, and Molotov was down as well, and nothing could be done there. Once that bomb's planted, especially in this sort of pistol, there's no chance of bringing it back. It was a decent effort from Flash. They had a couple of kills, and there will be 4 spying in the second. Now, this is one of the maps where it's very difficult to make a compelling case that this is going to work out. It will take mistakes from Astralis, a rush towards ramp, something like that. Dupree, he might find himself in the face with CZ bullets.
Lovely.
He's fine.
That could not have gone better for Dupree. He doesn't have the bomb on his back. So instead, he will just be somewhat of a fly in the ointment. They've got him down there, and he can just slowly crawl around, call what he's seeing and hearing at the moment. It's going to be Golden, the first potential target as Smoke's outside and a walk. Glaive and Device considering that. To contest is Crims, just a Desert Eagle though, and he is perhaps going to be able to pull the timing out. If anyone could draw their attention, he could be getting on that red container or slipping behind all of Astralis. And actually, you know what this is? Oh, Magisk! He caught a whiff of it, but still gobbles up the bullets and information by the boatload from Crims.
Absolutely, but remember, we already had a player down towards lower, so now Golden, he'll have to try and fend him off, but that Desert Eagle at close range, it was difficult to find the kills required. Same story with the scouts as well. So yes, a great opening frag there, but I don't think it will lead to too much. Glaive can patrol towards the ramp room at this point. It's just going to take over commitment from Astralis for the CTs to even stand a chance. It should be 2-0. You're better off just saving what you have at this point. 2 CZs and a Galil gives you a second bite of the cherry going forward, but yeah, definitely can't go for it. And that's what we were talking about going into this one. Astralis, they love that lower bomb site. They just know how powerful it is. Even in a 4 versus 2, you got Kriegs and that bomb down, you're likely going to win it. It's kind of insane.
It was an interesting route they took as well in order to do that. By getting dupreeh down the vents early, they could not only just count on him, his presence down decon when they needed it, but they just went outside. You know, they didn't have to do anything with it.
It opens up the map so much. Yeah. Anywhere you've thought of stacking or trying to have a stronger defense, say outside a ramp, for example, as soon as dupreeh's down towards lower, one of those players has to peel away. Your teammates then group up and focus one choke point. Likely you're going to have one player there, especially with the lesser weaponry. There's just no chance. It's such a powerful move to get players down towards the vent. And Astralis, they'll be doing plenty of that. They've managed to win the second round. I was against the 4 spy. I remember 3 players did survive. So we'll take over Galil's, CZ's, and I think I spotted a cheeky scout there as well. So JW spent all his money going into this one. He really better hit some shots.
Interesting.
I'm not sure why he would do that, to be honest with you. He's hoping that Galil can do some serious damage.
Let's see what you've got for us. It's going to be dupreeh doing rinse and repeat. This time, however, he does take a bit more damage, and that's the CZ bullets you were hoping on. Number 4, down to 15 this time. And oh, Golden, a huge pickup. He's been always the playmaker on ramp for Fnatic, and he does a fantastic job of being able to get the one and done.
Well, this is working out quite nicely. I have to say, the scout surely goes down here, and it does get a tag before it's dropped, so that's much more than he was worth, to be honest, on the JW side of things. He's taking Zipex down to 27 points of health. I'd actually give the advantage to Fnatic on this one. Sure, we got ramp control, but that's not a bomb site. This is just a portal to it.
Yeah, Glaive, by passing off the bomb, it gives him the freedom to go hunting. He knows this is going to be held. He has the weapon advantage. Not necessarily left eye peek, though, and Flusher, that's a huge delivery. UPS, next day delivery, AK-47, please, and actually using a nade. Now that might have sent it closer. No, it was even still within his grasp, no stress there. This round, you said they're going to have to back it up with a full investment from JW. Well, 3 frags in, this is looking better.
Yeah, and he got 2 tags to contribute to that as well. He got the initial tag towards the vent, which led to dupreeh's demise. And at that point as well, the scout got a tag on the player that went down towards the ramp as well. Yeah. So he did great work. Didn't get any kills, but that scout proved to be a very valuable outside.
Yeah, he's still operating with just 17 points of health. And so it all kind of falls to Magisk. He's up on the railings at now. He has the sound cue. Knows he's going to at least find one with the Galil. Neat and tidy so far. Bomb on the back of Zipex, though, and he won't be able to plant it. It's now loose. A 1 versus 3 for Magisk. With 20 seconds, the pressure of a plant bearing down upon him. Bullets from every direction, but they're not giving him any opportunity. Got to choose a spot for that utility. Now shots coming in, and it's the second that connects. Golden, bookend frags of the round. He gets the first and the last, and that will be the end of that. 2-1, stopping Astralis early.
Always scares me going towards ramp room, and you know they've got deagles for that reason alone. Sure, you have the advantage there, but they do still aware 1 deag. They've got the retreat plan as well. They can drop that and just get out of there, right? You can't trade that kill. So I always try and avoid ramp room on these sort of rounds, but obviously sometimes you can't avoid those shots. That was excellent from Golden, and Roland to deny the plant as well. Great stuff. And Golden to close things out with the Desert Eagle. Very strong round. One you didn't expect them to win. The scout pays dividends.
It really worked out wonderfully. Let's see if Fnatic can maintain some of this control they've managed to take away from Astralis. AWP in the hands of JW this round, and some sacrifices made for the AWP of the Danes. Device just with the deagle. And some early hut control actually gifted to Brolin. Mac 10 couldn't really be much of a better weapon for the job, other than, of course, the shotguns. And helmets all present as well, which makes Brolin's job with this SMG all the more difficult. Astralis smoke's going to start to fly. Different lineups to what we're used to seeing, interestingly enough, so let's see how they land eventually. We'll check in with them. And Brolin's investigations, oh, with 1 HP. Yeah, he'll be caught scarpering. Magisk finds the opening frag.
They can slow things right down now. Waiting for the utility to come and return, and JW's actually on the bomb side floor with the AWP. You won't see it there too often. And it leads to an L frag here. The Galil, not the best weapon for the job, and it's going to fall apart here for Fnatic. 3 versus 2. Still a chance in the round, but Nuke always so difficult to get back in towards these bomb sites. Golden knows it. Galil in hand, Molotov in front of him as well. He'll just have to sit back and wait. They have no kit, 1 smoke.
What do you do?
And 3 kills to find in a situation that money's already broken. Another Molotov, I think that signifies the end of the round.
Yeah. As the second one lands, I'm golden. I'm saying, right, safe. Leave. And keep hold of that M4. Flusher and Golden will be looking to maintain their weapons. Astralis, they're going to be respectfully keeping hold of that site. Looking for a safe exit as well. That round went from looking so good for Fnatic to just looking very simply solved. I mean, it was just a push out of that squeaky and a trade.
It was the nice reaction there from Astralis. As soon as JW, sure, he got that opening frag, but you know there's an orb, not up and towards heaven, not in the rafters, he's on the bomb site floor, right? So that's when you can pincer him. That's when you smoke main entrance, going together. And sure, it was a nice, advantageous position to surprise for 1, but he didn't really have to back up there with the Galil on the hut to really fend them off and squeaky. Unless that Galil gets 2 frags, you're pretty much done for there. And JW knew it. He got that first kill, but unfortunately just gave up his position at that stage. So it is going to be a resounding victory for Astralis. They did take down one of the penultimate weapons there, so only 1 survives on the Fnatic side, and you can see it's a Galil with an MP9 to go in tow.
Flusher forced to rebuy the full M4, the Kevlar that he was previously trying to save. Those are the sacrifices Henry's already highlighted in eyes with Zipex as he's looking to do some fast moves, smooth moves perhaps, already actually dropping down. Wow, this is going to be so quick. He has been spotted though, but still, that's going to keep the CTs busy as they've already snuck out of Squeaky as well. Flusher does catch Magisk, who is lingering alongside Zipex, but despite no element of surprise, he's already got 1.
Nice work from Flusher there. That was scrappy. It looked like Astralis had the positional control, but now it's a 4 versus 3. Fnatic holding on. They know that something's afoot here. Tees might have crawled out of the squeaky door, and they'd be absolutely right. Brodan plays a very defensive position, but JW to save the day here. The Orb striking. Still the advantage lies with Fnatic here, but Brodan's position looks like it might save the day.
Yeah, he has a perfect angle on both of them if he wants it. And instead, just going to catch the arm, grazes Device down to 20. And Glaive actually has managed to drop. That's the bomb on his back. Device in support. They do get that lower sight. Henry, let's see if Astralis can prove your theory right. They're battered, they're bruised, but the bomb's down.
The orb goes down first because they can quick scope and get the fast kill, but it doesn't seem to matter. It's Device who's done it again. You give them that lower bomb site, Alex, they're going to win the round. The orb is just ready and waiting. That's why the orb drops first, and that's why Device is holding it as well, because you want the one-shot quick kill. You don't want to have to spray. You don't want to shoot in the chest or anything like that. So it was the right idea from Fnatic there, but it's left Golden in a very difficult situation. He has got the kit this time, but no smoke. HE might be enough, I suppose. Device will have to open the door eventually, and he'll still hit the shot. That's such a sick round from him.
That's ridiculous from Device, and it feels like he's very comfortable doing that close quarter AWPs towards Vent. How many highlights have we seen from him? I think I watched one the other day where they just dropped 1 by 1. He's just AWPing them as they drop and descend. We'll see this from Device's POV now, as he had a spectacular set of frags. This is the first, and then with 19 HP, he's ready and waiting for the second.
That's
gorgeous.
So sick. Yeah, well played to him. He didn't panic as well. That could have been a full defuse for all he knew, but waited for Golden to make the next move. Doors open. There he is. 4 kills in the round. We said the orbs wouldn't have massive amount of impact, or Device certainly proving me wrong.
That's all 4 of his frags in 1 round.
Yeah,
he's online now.
So, not really even a pass for JW. He's spent a lot of his... Can we bring the money up a second? How much cash has he expended into SWAT? He's gone all in again, Alex.
Interesting.
That's a weird one. He's gone for Nova and Armor. So, like, it means he'll be fine. He'll use an SMG or a shotgun again going to the next round, but still, you'd think considering their current situation, might want to hold on to the schmeckles a bit more.
Yeah.
But Nova to save the day. $900 a kill for that weapon, but you don't really see it too often on any map, to be honest.
And he's opted for the secret corner, hoping to be able to be a spanner in the works for the... Oh, he's even, like, pre-aiming it. Gosh,
Glaive
he's going to clear that for sure.
knows something is up, doesn't he?
What?
Has he got a Molotov right now? Glaive doesn't. So he would have to face check that. You don't want to do that alone.
That's going to hurt. Shrapnel
Thing
down
is, the
gullet.
Nova's not as reliable as you'd think.
Oh, he's got the info as well. JW, the force bite is met with 0 profit. And now Device has actually managed to do even more. Just 2 remain now. Golden and Crims make it just Golden with his unarmored Deagle in order to try and fend off the 5th. It's not going to be likely, if not possible. You can hear all of the steps above him, and there's nothing you can do. Just perhaps taking this extra couple of seconds just to get everyone grounded and discussing what's happening in the next.
Nova's found at least.
Oh, thank goodness.
going to be valuable asset going forward, I suppose.
Skin check.
The fact he's got the deagle and the shotgun, it could be something, but it doesn't look like he'll survive either way. Just trying to get 1 kill if possible. Device doing his best to offer it up to him, and it will be Mages first. A little bit sloppy there from Astralis. Definitely don't need to find that kill, but should be taken care of. You don't want that shotgun, Dupree. Have a look at it, though. Just 1 kill given away, 5-1. We did say it doesn't really matter what side they start on, Alex, because that T side's pretty impeccable.
I mean, yeah, it is impeccable, infallible, and certainly that seems to be the case for Fnatic so far. Only 6 rounds in. I'm going to hold my breath just a little longer. It does seem like JW's opted for the scout this time, so maybe that's the thought process for him, is if he's fulfilling the role with the scout at the moment. He's going to be talked to, though. Tactical timeout called by Fnatic, so 3 remain.
Yeah, just stop letting them win.
Guys,
that's all we've got to try and do
they
here.
keep winning. That's the problem. I've worked it out.
Try and shoot them back. That's all we're going to go for this time. It's such a difficult one, though, because Astralis are just, once they get in the zone, I think Glaive's calling is just, I'm such a fan of it because he knows how to get under your skin. He knows how to suggest what he'll be doing next round. They'll continue to apply pressure outside 2 or 3 rounds. They'll draw down vents 2 or 3 rounds. And just as you adapt, just as you change,
you finally feel that you fixed it.
He knows the moment when he needs to just call the tactic, go for the upper rush. You know, he's so good at that. And that's the position he's in right now. He knows that he's suggested so many times, we keep going down lower. We haven't really used outside at all here. We have Glaive going out there. We go ramp sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised after Fnatic calling the tactical timeout, he just calls something absurd now. He just goes with something that completely against the grain we haven't seen so far, just knowing they're going to be changing things up to adapt to what they've presented so far.
That is one of the many facets of the Astralis machine.
Yeah. That's what makes him such a terrifying in-game leader. There's not many that can frag at his level as well. So an upper execution, it's going to be the call here. Smokes and flashes exchange, but Glaive, he'll get them the first frag of the round here, but still struggling to get out the key choke point of Hutt.
Yeah, it was Brolan to find that first frag that really did slow them down. Dupree, the entry fragger, this time has body bag zipped up, and Golden, again, so reliable on ramp room with the support now of the scout, and actually both of them are wounded. It will be Device to shut down Brolan, but not before he got caught Glaive. And so Device, he's done a lot with a low HP bar, but that's too much to ask for. Drops down, inspects his knife in front of Flusher. And that's an easy one for him to pick up. A second then for Fnatic, and just when the doctor would have ordered it.
Yeah, imagine if he dropped down with the AWP then and just had to click when he landed. That could have been so spicy. Brolan, though, ready for the change of pace. It was the upper execution of sorts. Couple of smokes down. Skylight flash to come through. But Flusher, you can see no anticipation that was coming through. But still, luckily for him, Device with the knife drawn is taken down. But the money's still a bit of an issue on the CT side. A scout for Golden. JW back on the AWP for Mass for Brolan. Good grenade, should do reasonable damage. I say reasonable, barely there. About 10 to even play at their Device and Glaive.
Makes the M4's headshots a little more deadly.
A little bit, yes. We'll see now what the play is. That's normally Glaive outside, and he'll stay true to that. JW investigating towards the silo position. Device fumbling the jump somewhat. He's saying, you know what?
I wanted to smoke anyway.
Just do a smoke.
I wanted to throw a smoke anyway, it's fine.
So these are the smokes we were talking about at the beginning of the game. This is pretty standard stuff in terms of outside smokes, but it's slightly deeper than the usual variation. It allows you to gain access towards garage as well. And, oh my goodness, Device, I don't know how he's still alive there. Nothing but his head was showing, but still,
Jesus.
He fires off shots, stays alive, and they know exactly where the AWP is. Glaive encroaching on his position. That's
the perfect use of the smoke. Look at what Glaive has been able to achieve. He's already behind the CT who's playing outside. Look at Flusher, completely none the wiser. He's even trying to help them inside because there's nothing outside. I did air quotes. I realized that didn't quite work. Device, however, will draw the attention of Flusher, and now he can reveal the trick. It's Glaive, powerful smokes, and a backstab to bring him even further in the lead.
And it's all about getting that garage control. That's why those smokes are so much more valuable, I think, compared to the traditional ones. So it means it gives you a lot more point of access, takes away the same vision, and now you're just waiting for reactions from the CTs, and then it's getting absolutely mauled at this point. The AWP, you don't want it in that position, and it will be Device to take down Zipex, no less.
Thanks, man.
Don't know how he actually gets away with that one, but he will. It should be around for Astralis, still no problem, but somehow Device took down his teammate. Obviously, the information is opposition would be towards Squeaky Door as well. He saw a pixel, took the shot. We'll have no knock-on effect here, apart from maybe JW saving the AWP.
Yeah, I love that, though. Astralis outdoor control. Between the two of them, they managed to make it. Yeah,
just about Glaive. Just about Glaive.
You got a poster in your room, you wake up?
I actually might do, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are the Astralis posters,
I'm turning that much into a fanboy. He's a Source player as well. So that's why, like, he's a full package for me. Course, the perfect man.
Yeah, he is your dream boat. Not only an in-game leader.
I remember when I first started commentating, he was the one fanboying me.
Was he
he's
really?
like, oh gosh, so cool, you're coming back to Counter-Strike. I was such a fan of your player. Now I'm just the one that's in awe of what he does.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the storylines, the individual storylines, there's so many that have yet to be fully, presented to the world. There's so many stories of greatness. Blade certainly is one of them. We'll see a nice handling by Zipex with low HP to bring this one home. That's the team kill. We were wondering how that one transpired. So the score, if you have just joined us, is 6-2. Astralis on their T side of Nuke, no less. This was Fnatic's map pick. Now that raised a whole lot of eyebrows on the analyst desk. On fleek, by the way, don't worry. Now we're going to be seeing the early nade and smoke combination. JW taking an alternative angle. This time, it's profitable.
Yeah, it's a brave map for Fnatic to bring out here. The fact you got Vertigo as the kicker as well. Like, these are the maps Astralis are extremely good on.
JW's buys have been so peculiar.
Yeah.
So he dropped the scout in the previous round to gold and picked up an AWP. He's got his second AWP here now, which he now does already find one with some aggressive AWPing. Crim's playing the waiting game in somewhat of an off angle. Actually catches Glaive. And this round is getting turned on its head. It's going to get very awkward for the 3 remaining Danes, especially as they're all gathered. Smoke will arrive, but actually Dupree, despite the flashbang, does find Brollan. Crim's spray is rewarded as well, and the fights keep coming. This time, they're being presented to Astralis. They're expecting one towards heaven, and that has arrived in the form of Golden. Only a scout, though, and a low HP player. He can't quite connect. They're both on top site, and Golden's fallen now. 2 versus 4, Henry, thrown into level odds.
That was a little scary for Golden there. If he hits one of those shots, the round's done. They can still win this. I'd say they still have the advantage of sorts. But now Astralis bomb planted. They know there's unlikely chances they have kits on the CT side, and now it's a 2 versus 1. They know Crims is up here as well by the looks of things. He's low HP, another 4-on-2. It's Magisk and Device to deliver the goods. Absolutely stunning work there. It looked like a round that was done for there. 5-on-3 down, had to go towards upper. They got killed through the smoke upon entry, but still they bring it back. The bomb's planted. It all came down to that scout seekers from Golden. And certainly not a sniper himself. It's a difficult weapon to use in those scenarios, but if he just nails that one shot, I think the round was theirs, but couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, and of course, hindsight's 2020. We know that that's Device with the low HP, and you just take an extra second to stabilize your aim, but he's just in that quick scopey, scouty mindset. Wanted to make sure he gets as many shots down range as possible. So you can see the setup. JW going to be playing in main with Flusher holding his back push, which is exactly actually where Astralis are sneaking.
So these are the more common smokes this time. These are the terrorist side smokes, and Flusher is in a strong position to get a couple of kills in the spray. That'll cost him his life. If he gets a clean kill there, he might have had a chance to reset, but unfortunately still, Glaive to open things up, and Flusher will be taken down in response as well. Another 4 versus 3. Did he kill his teammate from main entrance? Is that what happened?
No, they got him. They got him. So that's 2 Astralis frags, 1 for Glaive and 1 for Dupree, and a third now found by Device. Looks like this round is off to a flying start, round 10. And Brollan and Crims, already completely disconnected from this round as 2 members of Astralis already find themselves towards the lower site. And it seems like Crims has got a good idea that Zipnix was lingering. But with the bomb going down and Krieg upgraded, I'm still uncertain as to what they do with this. Catches another. Dupree going for a walk. And they are already choosing to save. Not really interested in going down to that lower site.
Again,
yeah.
Down lower. Once that's happened, you can see the CT's like, well, it's a good try, got a few kills, got some exit frags, there's consolation prizes, I suppose, but it's going to be 8-2. They've won the half at this point, and it hasn't really been closely contested, to be honest with you. How interesting.
The mindset from Fnatic must have been a combination of their results on Nuke, Astralis' results on Nuke, and an understanding, watching Astralis' Nuke and feeling like you had an understanding of how it operated. Now coming into the actual, the official, this is the upper bracket final. You get the semi-finals if you win this game.
Okay.
The heat is on.
So Glaive did take down JW in main entrance. So Flusher, the fact he took a second to see if there was a couple of players that actually costed his teammate his life.
Yeah.
So he was hoping to see, well, maybe 2 come in front, I can get 2 out of this position. I haven't got the silence them before, which had been a prime spot for that position, actually. He let his teammate go down first, and then only gets 1 kill in response. So if anything, just hung his teammates out to dry, unfortunately. So here we go then.
JW is putting a lot of faith into his teammate.
Oh, no, absolutely.
With that hold, right?
He was arguably out of position, but here we go, changing the pace. As we said, Astralis is so good at going towards upper now, and instead of jumping down the vents, is focusing fully towards his upper side. The smokes are down, the kills have been found. Round over. You don't need me to break that one down for you guys. That was just as textbook as you like. Good smokes down, nade out the door, hit your shots, get the bomb planted, round, and job done.
I think that's about 18 seconds into the round, it's over. That is fast. And a terrifying. I mean, it takes balls. It really does to be going for those topside takes, especially against teams so proficient with the funky buys and the funky weapons. It does seem like Brolan though and Golden with their armor and a Krieg to save.
And it's Brolan with the Krieg as well. Remember, we did say if he gets on the CT side, he can cause some damage here, but it might be a little bit too late at this point. There's Golden, nice shot. Money's so strong for Astralis at this point, it won't be a massive deal. He gets another kill, maybe that's something. There's Golden, $600 extra at least, but he'll be removed eventually. And now Brolan is holding on to the Krieg. Like we said, he played towards the ramp room, and hopefully he'll deliver in the rounds going forward. So Krieg saved on the T side as well, no AWP on that side, but 9-2 up. Like we normally say, like historically, like 5 rounds of the T side is decent.
Yeah.
Anything else is a bonus. At this point, doesn't look like they're showing any signs of slowing down.
And Astralis is showing signs that they really want to get themselves over to the upper bracket, get themselves locked in with a day off for the semi-finals. It's to end of 2019, and we're seeing Liquid and Astralis in the form they're in. That's exciting for what the playoffs could hold for ECS Season 8 finals. There is no doubt in my mind that both of these teams finding form is promising, and so is that for Astralis. Another opening frag, this time courtesy of Device. Door blows open, and a sitting duck in the form of Crims.
Yeah, opening kills.
Kills,
Plural now.
time to pluralize.
And there's JW pulling one back. Smoke's not ideal in that position either, but they know exactly where he is now. I dare say they'll just hightail it towards the upper side. Flusher might find himself in a precarious spot here. He's going to have to do great work with the AUG, which he can't do really. Scope would have been ideal there. Didn't have the time really to pull it out. Glaive would have taken care of him either way. And now Device looking towards Squeaky Door. Doesn't get much easier that in terms of kills. Brolan just walks past the Squeaky Door and down he goes.
Yeah, caught by the patience of Device, and now the flank from JW. They are heading towards the top side, so he's got a chance perhaps to catch 1 or 2. That's the first. The second from the Device, and through the wall, he's caught another. JW, he's been a shining light, looking for an ace clutch, and actually through the flames, he's ahead of the curve. He can actually catch them. They may not be ready for this with the molly they threw. And another frag. JW, he's on for the ace clutch. 4 frags to his name. He's scarpering all the way to ramp, I think.
I think he might be right there. This is so
he's reading
sick.
everything.
Yeah, he's 1 step ahead of them every step of the way here. This has been very impressive, but still a difficult situation for him. He has got the Molotov. He Molotovs the hut, goes for the full defuse. That could be enough here.
Stop. That's an exciting prospect.
I think that's what he does.
He's got the kit. Slow drop. Cautious of the close corners. And he does have time to burn here, so he will just go through the process of elimination. Wants to maybe clear that close corner.
Molotov have full defuse.
Oh, he's opted for the corner instead. Yeah, that would have been lovely. Fakes it out. Good to draw the information, but Magic's called his bluff. He will have to go and check it just a little bit. Gets the information now, looking to hold. Scope perhaps to bait him out. 1 second, he does, and Magic's he falters! JW's done it! I can't believe he's got away with that! The cheeky bastard! He's done it!
That's insane. He had no business winning that round whatsoever. Magus buckles under the pressure as well, knowing that would be a historical clutch to pick up, and JW delivers. It's a round that's given away. They were running around like they had that one in the bag, which they did, to be fair, but at this point, Device, he couldn't do much about that. The wallbang to come through, but the awareness to go through the flames, drop down those vents, be ready and waiting for them, bring it into a 1 versus 1 was just an absolute masterclass of CS. But the problem is, that's only their 3rd round on the board. Had this been a close game, that would be monumental. But still, it seems to be lighting the fire beneath Brolan. He's got the first frag here, down at 34 points of health. Magisk, he'll be the first one to be removed. Wow.
I'm still catching my breath. An unbelievable round from Jesper Vexel. Smoke's going to start landing. This is the Astralis default smokes wall. You'll be able to see that that does enable Glaive to take additional control and even push through that smoke into warehouse should they fancy it and feel it. But look how much freedom this gives them. What a love. They can just crouch, not have you too worried about heaven, peek over in between the two. It's a powerful combination, and now they descend. 4 members of Astralis, all that remains for the Danes, now heading towards the lower site. And just procedurally and quietly, worth mentioning, going to be starting to take some control. They are not they're keeping this one a secret. I think likely some utility. You can see Glaive was flirting with the idea, but instead they stay quiet.
They've done good work so far. You can see Brolan with a push towards the lobby. Confirms that that area is clear elite. He needs to get ready for lower. JW's towards ramp with the sniper.
Who's playing lower right now?
I'm not
There's
sure
no one
anyone
there.
is. So they're going to have to do a full retake here. We've always said that 4-on-2s, even with the bomb down, is difficult to hold. But JW, he's now working it out. He's going to be smoking himself out of position to make sure he can't be isolated from the T's. This is looking much better now. It's Golden who's down there with them, and still they will hold on. 3 versus 1. Looks like the round is done. Device to be dropped. It was the ace clutch from JW to get them into advantageous position where they might actually be able to string some rounds together, and they've delivered on their promise. It's going to be 9-4 overall, and Money is actually in an interesting position here. I don't think there's enough for a full buy on the T side. Here's JW looking towards that window position. Nails a shot on Zipex, smokes himself out. Golden's there towards ramp as well, and it's a really solid hold there for the CT side. He got the initial kill and denied the plan there, more importantly.
Yeah, lovely, lovely stuff. And actually, for the first time in this game, Astralis are going to have to slow down a second, take a moment, take an eco, or a deco, I suppose, as you see. That's $700 sidearm being the choice weapon for this task. Does expose himself, but gets a little bit more information as well for that, and so the bodies will start to be lined up.
It's more like it from Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, a 9-6 half you can work with. You're really not working too far, especially if you lose that pistol with anything more than double digits. I mean, that's scary.
The way Nuke's played these days, 6 rounds is enough. It's not ideal, that's for sure, but the way this game was looking, especially in that 4 versus 1 as well, I looked like this was absolutely done. But we have a competitive game on our hands now. They're going to be winning this one. Mages will confirm that by being dropped towards a T-red position. Round 15 coming up, and I think it's an important one. The fact that there's a world of difference in 9-6 and 10-5. Double digits on the T side is quite the mountain to climb. But 9-6, you win a pistol, it seems manageable, you know, just in terms of a psychological point of view.
It certainly does. Yeah, no, absolutely. And what will be the call from Glaive? We'll see whether or not they'll be mixing up the pace again. Some of their top side takes were happening within the first 10 seconds of play. Of course, this time against the full buy, much more unlikely. We will see the nade exchange early. It's actually a double flash from Glaive, which does suggest or imply there's something coming fast, and this time it's actually towards Golden. You can see he has all of his fundamentals nailed down if contact is found. Molly and fall back, but look how quick. They're just holding W. They're going to catch Flusher in transition, or are they? Their trades do come in. In fact, a double kill from Magis puts them in good stead.
That's the innovation of Nuke we haven't seen for some time. There's so many options available to you, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that sort of approach. Get fast ramp control instead of just going down lower like you would expect. He pounced them towards outside. Fnatic did well to even get a couple of kills in that position. It was such a great call there from Astralis. The bomb's going to be planted. Magus watching for the flank coming through, and he can't connect the shot. 2-on-2 now. Smoke and Molotov available on the CT side. Crims went towards the double doors.
It's crucial round now for Fnatic. We started this round by saying 9-6 sounds a whole lot better than 10-5. 2 frags away from realizing it for both teams. Dupree throws Brolin into 1v2, and just one more bullet was all that was necessary. It will be a 10-5 half in favor of Astralis, and they have defense to come.
Yeah, that was actually a really entertaining game of CS. It was Astralis who showed us how amazing they can be on their terrorist forces, but JW has kept them in this game. It's not the best scoreline, but they can certainly recover this. We'll see if they can do it after this break.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It continues. Astralis vs Fnatic. I'm Machine, joined by Henry G, and I have cleared my throat. That's so much better. But we do have what could be continuing to be a good Counter-Strike game. It was, unfortunately for Fnatic, an incredible start from Astralis that made the scoreline look as extreme as it did.
But they had a lifeline, though. The ace clutch from JW has made this game realistic, at least. Before, it looked like a fantasy. They had no chance. Astralis are just way too strong. But JW showed them there's still a chance. They have weaknesses. They are mortal. They do bleed. And we'll see if they can win the pistol here. A much-needed pistol, I have to say. This is actually the pick of Astralis here. So you would expect them to pick it up, but it's Inferno next is the problem I have right now. Vertigo to close things out as well. It just seems like I just don't see a world where Fnatic can win this series.
Well, not if it goes to Vertigo.
Yeah, right. I feel like they can win a map. But it would have to be this one in my book. We'll see what can be done. We'll see Device opening things up with the USB towards the ramp room. And Zipex, not as clean as Device, but still gets the frag all the same. Bomb goes down. JW. He's like, guys, what happened to the lower split? That was the idea. I'm down here. I've kept my end of the bargain, but no one else alive.
They had a little bit more additional resistance than they were expecting.
Yeah, apparently so. The old bait and switch towards ramp. Usually only having one player there, but Device stuck in the corner, baited in by Zipex. He's going to be overlooked. He gets 2 very quick kills. Zipex with the third. Like I said, a bit scrappy, but that's fine. And now JW. He won a 4 versus 1 clutch, but he had slightly heavier artillery at that point, not just the Glock.
No, not quite as glamorous. Down in the AWP still. He's having a go and does have some contact. It is that 1v1 he was hoping to find, but immediately Glaive Scarpers to protect the bomb. 3 members of Astralis now, all keeping hold of that one. They will play the odds, they will play it safe, and they will secure 11. So winning the pistol, putting them in good stead to start the series off with a map win on Fnatic's pick, as Henry has already made clear and alluded to. Inferno is where Astralis wanted to take this one. Likely the response to a Nuke pick. They were like, well, I guess Inferno. That was the second that used to be, of course, their maps of choice. It does seem like they are fallible in some other analysts' eyes on these maps. Sean Gare's talking, of course, about that, suggesting that he believes that they can lose now on Nuke and Inferno.
Well,
here they go.
Block rush. Let's do it, boys. Get stuck in, make it a quick one. Didn't want to play that round anyway, to be honest with you. So just a 5-second round there.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's all that really is. There is an argument to be made. You can slow it down and bait out grenades. They cost money.
Jump in a Molotov so it's not an SMG death.
Well, that is something you could aspire to, but very difficult to make it work. And if you don't make it work, it can actually just fall apart, be your own goal in the end. You just an MP9 finds you a low HP instead and just mows you all down.
It's never a good feeling. You're all just sitting there looking at the floor like, hi.
I think I've only seen that one successfully happen. They all just jumped in the flames and actually they got 5 kills from it. But either way, we'll see the first buy come through on the Fnatic side. AKs are out, and you can see we don't have Kriegs across the board now because money is a little bit tighter. Krieg costing a bit more.
I would agree with you if it wasn't Fnatic. Unfortunately, we've got the most stubborn Swedes in existence here. Yeah. Those guys are not leaving the Kalashnikov. They will hold that all the way through. Even if the Krieg was free, I reckon Clusher would still be buying it.
He'd still be buying shotguns.
Yeah, that's true. Nice shots. Device taking the frag, and actually that HE looks so juicy. Unfortunately for him, only a little tickle towards Golden, but making sure he gets his utility out. He is having that gap closed in on, but he'll just go ahead and close the hatch. Or will he? Actually, he enables Golden, to go for a rather quick frag. Now they have access to lower, and you can see immediate CT reaction. It's Magisk, descends the ladder and looks to support ramp.
Yeah, it was looking fantastic there for Astralis. I dare say, like, Device with that advantage, being by himself. I liked what he was doing there, but he certainly had vulnerabilities at the gap and the smoke. Might just want to take the advantage and walk away, but it's JW with a guaranteed frag here towards Magisk. And now advantage Fnatic, 4-on-3 against MP9s and an M4.
All because of Golden's frag, that second comes in. In fact, the Magisk fell out of heaven, enabled JW to get up there. Pushing forward, the Molotov is not going to slow him down, so exposed is Glaive, now just all onto Zipex, a 1 versus 3, just an MP9, the bomb will be going down on that top site. And is there a weapon to pick up there? Yep, there's a Krieg, I believe, on the floor, so Zipex will at least be able to upgrade his weapon for the next round at the bare minimum. And I think that's probably going to be his MO for this remaining time. Just going to head towards CT spawn. You can see going for a slow stroll in the park.
They've got enough money to buy next round, but saving the Krieg will certainly help things out. We talked about the benefits of having on the CT side. Zipex Currently sat on 9 frags. Hasn't had a show-stopping performance as of yet, but still plenty of time to come online on the CT side especially. And there it is, Fnatic to pick up the round there. It was the opening pick for Astralis. Device dropping all his utility. He felt safe towards those secret steps, but Golden had already snuck by. And as you mentioned, as soon as they get that kill, then the Device is likely to be outside by himself. They start sneaking towards the heaven position. Find the player in CT spawn. It was pretty much job done at that point. They only had the MP9s in tow, but there's Device the first kill. There's that gap for the smoke I was talking about. That was the problem there. Device heard him coming, but couldn't do much about it. JW helps himself towards heaven, and he finds an unsuspecting Magisk waiting on the other side as JW just completely destroys them one by one, and we'll see the AWP for Device here. So we knew money would be a little bit tight, so it makes sense. Bring out the AWP, see if we can keep it arranged towards outside. That'll be round number 19 coming through.
I'm interested to know if how much Fnatic can close this gap now. I mean, this is their chance. This is their moment. They know if you win this round, start to break that Astralis. Glaive's just playing, using that smoke perfectly. There's a little wall to play around, but it doesn't stop Brollan. Caught out, but he did have the better arsenal, and now working with just 25 points of health for the remainder. Tight line. See many AWPers take that one. Can catch the cross in towards main. There's now some late outside smoke's going to be arriving.
Yeah, all the advantages you could ask for on the Fnatic side. Device.
God, that is a ridiculous long line.
Yeah, well, that's been removed at this point. He has to keep the range long at this point. He's got no armor. Any grenades, any bullets in his general direction will take him down. He knows it. So just sending one player towards the secret position. That suggests to go towards ramp and try and split towards lower. Now, the problem is you normally have ZipX holding the ramp room. Now, he doesn't give up too easily.
Oh, look at that line.
That's a committed position as well.
He wants to get them support as well. Device has arrived, and so do they in the kill feed. One each, a second for Device. He gets greedy. Steals another. Crims was his second helping. Now JW looking to spoil this ramp hold. ZipX is going to make a bit of a play. Brings him down to 72. Device looking to come back to support, but that bomb is right once again in Astralis' grasp. Twice we've seen Fnatic try this play, and twice they've lost that bomb in ramp room.
I like that from Dupree as well. He doesn't go for the backstab play here. He knows there's another player they have no information on. I was about to say it's a godlike position. Had he got himself in the corner, it would have been. But instead, he goes right in front of the hole, and they've got 10 seconds remaining, but the bomb, it's not recovered. There's no chance of winning this round now. It's ZipX, like I said, a committed position towards ramp, but that's not an angle you pre-fire at all. You've got so many moving pieces towards that spot. Hit the order to back him up as well. They nail it after losing the first frag, no less as well. It's going to be 13-6.
Yeah, lovely, quick, supportive work from Device. He arrived just as he needed to. I mean, within the second he arrived, they were coming around that corner. Could not have been better supportive call. I imagine ZipX was the one, to coordinate that. Of course, we don't have that information, but probably just hears the steps and starts begging for some sort of support. And we're into what looks like a bit of a Fnatic late call. You can see that Crimson Flusher was still at spawn, picking up their utility to round it all out. Crunching the numbers, and actually a very aggressive spray. Does tag Glaive down to 29, and Device, he wants to go for some close quarters AWPing. JW about to get a taste of his own medicine. Instead, it's Crims. Oof, a quick flick, pulling the pin. And an early first blood. It's extended as well by Astralis. They are not slowing down. It will be Brollan to give some sort of respite, but only for a moment. He's gone too.
Yeah, it's up to JW once again. He'll be joined by Flash this time. It's a 4-3 versus 2 as the headshot comes through. A little bit too aggressive there from the CT side, but still everything under control for now. Over a minute on the clock. Desert Eagle only for Flasher here, but he is deadly with the weapon. A chance, but unfortunately the range is a little bit too far there. It's going to be JW just with 33 points of health. Money will be absolutely ravished after this round. It's a great performance once again from Device. 2 frags in the round. Had to get aggressive towards the squeaky door. They had a player reloading in the corner. He was aware of that. Looks towards the actual lobby position itself. Takes him down, knife out, times it to perfection. And at that point, absolute chaos ensues, and there's no chance of picking it up here. This was the shot. So he knew a player's reloading the race, saw the crosshair, moved to that position, but then spots a player at lobby, and at that point gets the hell out of there. Well played.
He did. I mean, he's such a nuisance to play against, I'm sure. It must be so irritating because he's doing everything right, and often won't make the low percentage play, is one way to describe it. JW quite the opposite of that, and he's one to always change the meta. The JW meta is a different one. As the frags do start coming in again, does look like the CT side are picking up pace. At least the bomb goes down, though. That is going to be something for Flusher to be celebrating about. Unfortunately, those party poppers might be pulled out of his hands early because ZipX is already on the hunt. He has a kit, a smoke, likely going to be looking to take Flusher out of this one and just tickle that diffuse.
I love that from Zipex especially. He's got all the utility he could ever ask for, but elite players, they know in those scenarios, that's when you get caught out. That's when there's a chance of a mistake happening there. So he makes sure he just keeps the rifle in hand, holds onto the utility, gets that all-important kill. Sure, the bomb's down, but all JW can do at this point is what? Throw a grenade at the defuser, that's about it. It's getting a little bit close for Comfort there, but it's still 4 players alive. Bomb defuse. It's going to be the round in their favor as we find ourselves at 15-6 now. Looks like this is a foregone conclusion. And remember, the only reason they actually got into this game was a JW 1-on-4 clutch.
Yes.
It's the only reason they really had a look into
it could have been a 15-3 right now.
Yeah. But what difference does it make, really? It's still a landslide at this point.
Yeah, certainly.
But it just goes to show you how much of a convincing victory this should be. Haven't got there yet. Never like to overstep the mark. But either way, we get into the next round here. Could be the final one, considering it's 2 Galils, 3 AKs, and no utility on Crims. Flasher, there's 1 Molotov for Bro, that's about it. Fast outside play, and the smokes aren't even there. But the flashbang is... Oh, can you even cross at this point?
I mean, it's Device and Magisk both going to be looking towards the outside cross.
They've dumped everything they had towards outside. They're like, we kind of have to use this, boys. But now those smokes are dissipated. Ooh. You've got outside control to a degree, but it's not really that useful unless you get towards main entrance or secret. Looks like they're choosing the former.
He got the info. That's something. Brollant knows there's an AWP on the line. And now they can take that fight. Dupree, though, holding fast and holding Mouse 1. Double kill for him. And the end is here. 16 then to 6, your final scoreline. Astralis take a leap in the right direction for a day off and a spot in the semis. Map 1 complete.
Yeah, that's what we've come to expect of Astralis in the last month or so. They definitely had a drop in form in the mid stages of this year, but they're certainly having a resurgence towards the tail end of it. Really dominant stuff there. Their T side couldn't have been better. Sure, those are fly in the ointment. They lost a 1-on-4 clutch, but that's not like there's something to do with the strategy or anything like that. That's just JW going above and beyond expectations. They were a little bit overzealous, I could say, in that sort of situation, but they were still running away with the game. The scoreline is reflective of that. 16-6. It's their map pick, sure, but there's not many teams right now that can touch Astralis on Nuke.
No, I mean, clearly not. Fnatic's Nuke, in my mind, I can understand all of the thought process that led up to this.
Sure.
But Astralis have responded in kind, you know, reminding us of why they were so dominant on that map 32 times in a row on land. I mean, that's a record. It's a ridiculous record.
It's ridiculous. But one thing that does bode well is JW certainly came online at that point. We were to their territory next. Another AWP-centric affair. We can get on Inferno. You liking this funky beat?
It's kind of funky,
Because we're standing up to that, aren't we?
We have a little bit of extra
dance,
movement.
a little bit more fun.
Move.
Not just sat in the chair. There's no ties in place. You can have a little more freedom. You can even take this off later if you like.
Sure. Yeah, you want the gun show?
Maybe.
No, I don't think we should.
Okay, well, we'll leave the guns on the server for now. We're going to be taking a break and be back with the map number 2.